Now we're live at the scene of an East Side fire that sent 2 Madison firefighters to the hospital. And it's Freak Fest. We take a look at how State Street prepared for tonight's Halloween celebration. Plus, how local officials are encouraging the community to dispose of unused drugs on Prescription Take-Back Day.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. We start tonight on East Mifflin Street, where 2 firefighters are in the hospital with minor injuries after a pair of fires broke out. Adam Duxter is live on the scene with more info.
Yeah, Amanda, firefighters are still working pretty hard here on the corner of East Mifflin and Few Street on the city's east side. And take a look at what they're responding to. Not one, but 2 separate houses near this intersection caught up in flames earlier tonight. Again, putting 2 firefighters in the hospital with minor injuries. Now, Madison's fire chief said the call came in at about 7:30 this evening for just one building that was on fire. When his men arrived, he says they found 2 buildings. The fire had spread from one building to the next. Now, he says those firefighters that were brought to the hospital with minor injuries are expected to both make full recoveries. But again, he said at this point, it is very difficult to know what caused this fire.
I don't know the number of displaced yet. We do know there were no civilian injuries. We had 2 firefighters that got injured and were transported, believed to be minor injuries, not severe, so they're expected to recover.
Now, things have begun to wrap up here at this scene, but we do know that firefighters are continuing to work to piece together the pieces of what caused this all in the first place. We also know that there are at least a few of these neighbors who have been forced to evacuate from their homes tonight while those firefighters do just that. But again, we're going to continue to keep you updated on our website, channel3000.com, as we do get more information as to exactly what caused this fire here tonight.
All right, thank you so much for that update, Adam. Also tonight, one of the Midwest's largest Halloween parties is taking place in downtown Madison right now. Earlier tonight, Adam Duxter spoke to those in charge about how they're keeping things safe in light of a previous reputation for violence.
Well, most folks in downtown Madison tonight have their sights set on having a good time. Others have a different mission.
While this is a fun event, we're also trying to keep people safe.
Just ask Craig Bernardi.
It's just little things as far as keeping in communication with not only Madison PD, but in communication between our posts.
Bernardi is the operations manager for Tribolt Security, who's working Freak Fest for the 3rd consecutive year. He says one of the main goals of his company is to change the culture of the event itself.
Actually just opened up a aromatherapy oxygen lounge.
Something nearby stores are starting to notice.
I think the best word to describe the old Freak Fest would be a riot. It had that kind of underbelly of it, where it was all about kind of debauchery. And now it's more of a festivity.
Well, stores like the soap opera used to have to board up and stake out during the annual Halloween party. Now they're able to embrace it more each year, even selling tickets this year. Bernardi says, well, it's still not a perfect event. It's making progress each and every year.
Looking at how we can do things better as far as staffing, as far as how to deploy people. You're always learning something.
All right, thanks so much. And make sure that Bernardi says there is increased security tonight where a shooting took place after the event last year, and make sure several roads are closed until 3 a.m. tonight in that downtown area, so be aware of that. Let's turn it over to Dana Fulton now with your first alert forecast. A little rainy for those Freak Fest goers out there tonight.
It is. It's a little rainy and a little chilly outside. Today, of course, our temperatures stayed well below average thanks to that mostly cloudy sky. Barely climbing to the upper 40s. We should have been in the mid-50s for those afternoon highs. Right now, though, of course, the focus on our Doppler track, those showers building on in. The heaviest rainfall seems to have already lifted north towards Fond du Lac back in Sheboygan, that we are seeing some spots of heavier showers towards Rock County. Most of Dane County right now just dealing with some light, very cool rain. Still holding on to 42 in Madison because of this mostly cloudy sky. We won't drop much more overnight. The good news, your Sunday is going to be a lot more sunny. The bad news, next week is going to hold a few shower and snow chances. We'll take a closer look at your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thank you. In Rock County, a 14-year-old is in custody after allegedly threatening a Janesville middle school on social media. Janesville police say they were notified of the threat to Marshall Middle School last night. Officials say the threat included a photo of a gun, which officials have now confirmed was fake. The teen was found and arrested for terrorist threats. A Beloit man who police believe was involved in Wednesday's deadly shooting of a 19-year-old was arrested yesterday in Rockford. Officials say 30-year-old Chet Hummel has been booked on suspicion of possessing a gun as a felon. The Rock County District Attorney's Office is reviewing the case for other potential charges. 19-year-old Enrique Ramirez died early Thursday morning at a Janesville hospital. Today is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, and vaping devices are being accepted for the first time. As Gabriella Becerra shares, Dane County leaders are hoping an education on properly disposing drugs can save lives.
I actually had a family friend who passed away from an opiate addiction, and so her addiction started actually, she got into her grandma's opiates.
University of Wisconsin-Madison School of Pharmacy students are disposing of these old prescription drugs properly.
And here's a whole other bag.
While behind the scenes, Dane County community leaders are joining forces to address the opioid epidemic from all perspectives. From public safety.
The most significant public safety issue we face, and one of the most significant public health challenges, is the opioid epidemic. And any steps that we can take to help address that epidemic are ones that are going to make our communities safer.
To law enforcement.
If individuals in the community know that there are unused prescriptions and particularly opiates in a residence, it poses a greater risk for burglary or break into that residence and potentially harm to the homeowner.
And even education.
Prevention is the #1 key for families. Don't have these medications laying around, right?
For the first time, vape devices are included in Prescription Drug Take-Back Day.
We don't know exactly what their impact is going to be on the environment, so if people can remove the battery and dispose of them safely at a drop box, they can have the peace of mind that they've done the disposal in a way that's safe.
Over 1,600 cases of vaping-related lung injuries have been reported in the United States, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention.
We can collect those vaping products and get them properly disposed of as well. It removes them from the possibility of being used or abused by young people.
With these two health-related epidemics prevalent in Wisconsin, these community leaders are stressing the importance of safely disposing drugs.
If they are flushed down the toilet, that's an environmental concern. If they're thrown away in the garbage, again, somebody who wants it is going to go in there and take it.
And it can save a life.
If those were never available to her, maybe she wouldn't have gotten addicted and maybe she would still be with us today.
Gabriella Becerra, News 3 Now.
While today was National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, you can dispose of old prescriptions, medications, and vitamins year-round. For a link to drop-off locations, just visit channel3000.com. More local news now. Chocolate Shop Ice Cream Company handed out free single scoops of ice cream today on its last day at its Atwood location. The building was recently sold. A lawsuit centered around the ice cream shop's eviction was settled this week. The chocolate shop offered up the last of its ice cream to thank customers. Chocolate Shop's owner says it's unclear when and where the company will move to, but he hopes to stay in the Atwood neighborhood. People are dressing up to make their favorite movies and comics come to life. Photojournalist Emily Burdett takes us inside this weekend's Wizard World.
Welcome to Wisconsin. You should live here. Forget New Asgard. You are on fire, dude.
It's just a group of artists and actors and celebrities and people coming together to celebrate pop culture.
We have the principal cast of Smallville, Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, Laura Vandervoort. We have Lou Ferrigno. There's a lot of fan passion. You know, people come dressed up. They come, a lot of cosplay going on.
I wanted just to
be like the heroes I grew up with.
If you're a comic book fan, there are a lot of great artists here. You can come and get things signed.
I've been in the business for 30 years now. I work with companies like Walt Disney and Marvel and Warner Brothers, DreamWorks. There was a great fan base that was started to follow me, and so I'm happy to come back and do new collectibles for fans to collect, get autographs.
It's for all ages, whether you're 7 or 70. It's just a lot of fun.
I find this more unique, this show. What Wizard World is so good about is giving back to fans. So they're fan-oriented. I mean, you got to come to a Wizard World convention. It's amazing here.
Wizard World returns for one more day tomorrow at the Alliant Energy Center until 4 o'clock. Still to come on News 3 Now at 10, renting or buying a pressure washer might be a good idea if you're looking to tackle some fall cleanup projects. Consumer Reports shares the best options for your home. Welcome back. The White House is announcing tonight that President Trump is expected to make a, quote, major announcement early tomorrow morning. Earlier tonight, Trump tweeted, quote, something very big just happened. He's scheduled to speak at a press conference tomorrow around 8 o'clock Central Time. If you didn't get to it in the spring, fall is also a great time of year to clean up your deck, walkways, and patio furniture. If you're considering using a pressure washer but not sure if you want to shell out the money, the experts at Consumer Reports can help you decide whether renting or buying is the right answer for you.
A pressure washer can make light work of tough jobs around your home. Consumer Reports says renting a pressure washer has its perks. You don't need the space to store it, and you don't have to worry about taking care of it. But it might not be the most economical choice.
You can rent a pressure washer at a home center for about $40 to $100 per day. But you can buy a good electric model for about $150 and a gas model for about $350. So if you're going to use it a lot, you may be better off buying one.
Using it just 3 times per year could pay for the cost of a rental, depending on whether you need an electric or gasoline-powered pressure washer.
Electric pressure washers are good for smaller jobs. Say you want to do your patio furniture, if you have a smaller deck.
Consumer Reports recommends this Greenworks pressure washer for $190. If you've got bigger areas to clean, like a large deck that needs sprucing, you might want to spend more money on a gasoline-powered pressure washer. But CR says there's an important safety concern to think about when it comes to gasoline pressure washers.
We currently don't recommend any gasoline-powered pressure washers because they all come with a red 0-degree pressure nozzle, and that creates a pinpoint stream that we really don't feel is necessary for cleaning, and it also can be dangerous.
If you do opt for a gasoline pressure washer, CR advises throwing the 0-degree nozzle out right away to be sure you or anyone else in your home doesn't use it. In Consumer Reports test, this Generac performed excellent for cleaning a range on different surfaces and offered very good pressure. It costs about $350. With this Consumer Reports, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
Consumer Reports says whether you rent or buy a pressure washer, it's important to be safe. Wear closed-toed shoes, safety goggles, and hearing protection whenever you are using a pressure washer. Let's get a look at your First Alert weather with Dana Fulton. I think they should start doing some of those cleanup things soon before it gets really cold.
Before it gets too cold, yes. I know myself and a lot of folks around the area kind of waiting to get the yard all cleaned up, slowly working on little projects like the hostas or a few trees that might be losing their leaves. Right now in the Arboretum, this beautiful picture coming in earlier today. A lot of color, still a few trees though hanging on to the green. Right now it's a little cool outside and a little rainy for the eastern half of the area. Not seeing any showers towards Prairie du Chien, Lone Rock, or even in Platteville right now. Light rainfall through Dane County. The heavier rain is off to the east. This is as an area of low pressure continues to drive northeast, bringing these showers all day throughout the Midwest, stretching from Madison all the way down to Columbus, Ohio. Now, mostly cloudy tonight, even after the showers clear on out. But by tomorrow morning, we steadily become partly sunny. Overall, tomorrow should be a really seasonable fall day. The cloud coverage builds in yet again, though, Sunday night heading into Monday. And for Monday, we're looking at a mostly cloudy sky with the chance for some showers to develop late in the day. And overnight, as our temperatures fall close to freezing, it may mix with a little bit of snowfall heading into Tuesday morning. Temperatures overnight, because of this mostly cloudy sky, will hold pretty steady throughout the area, not dropping too much. For tomorrow, we will be in the mid-50s for those afternoon highs. And then by Monday, with the cloudy sky expected to build on in, it won't be nearly as warm outside with those light shower chances developing later on in the day. Overnight low tonight in Madison of about 39, mostly cloudy and not quite as cold. This morning was just a little chilly. Tomorrow morning won't be quite as chilly. Anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour for our breeze tomorrow, about 5 to 10. So it'll be a little calmer in the afternoon. And with that partly sunny sky, it really should feel like a nice fall day for Sunday. So if you had to hold off on any yard plans today, you should be good to go for tomorrow. Next week, though, is going to include a few bumps in the road. For late on Monday, those light rain chances develop. It's going to develop into a mix at night, though, with some rain and snow showers. Tuesday, we have the chance for some rain and snow showers, otherwise just very chilly and breezy. Right now, Wednesday seems to give us a bit of a break with a partly sunny sky, but we're keeping a really close eye on our forecast on Thursday. We have the chance for some rain and snow to come on through. And we'll be keeping a close eye on the timing of that, of course, because as things come through later with the colder air building on in, that could lead to some very undesirable conditions for our trick-or-treaters. Regardless, plan for a very chilly Halloween Eve, All Hallows Eve, and we will definitely have some precipitation coming through that day, but we still have a little bit of time to kind of iron out the exact timing and how much of what we're looking at.
Either way, it's going to be pretty cold when you're out there trick-or-treating.
Absolutely, absolutely. Plan ahead, bundle the little ones up. If we could have an umbrella or some sort of jacket, great idea.
Great. Thank you so much, Dana. Still ahead, we recap the battle of the Buckeyes and the Badgers next in sports.
Well, the start of the showdown between the Badgers and Buckeyes was what we expected on paper, at least. The top two defenses in the country narrating the game. But the second half, Ohio State in control. Now, the rain certainly did not help at all today, a factor for sure in this game. A scoreless battle until late in the second quarter. Justin Fields down the middle to Chris Olave. That's a 27-yard score. 10-0 Buckeyes going into the locker rooms at halftime. Third quarter here now. Badgers driving. Check out this Jack Coan throw. In between two defenders, some solid work by A.J. Taylor there on that catch. Wisconsin still down, though, 10-7. But Ohio State answering right back. Justin Fields on the keeper this time. Buckeyes trying to open this one up. And oh, they do after that. Fields to J.K. Dobbins this time, putting the pressure on. 24-7 Ohio State at this point. Chris going for it on 4th and 8. Big play here, but Coan sacked by Chase Young. If you didn't know his name before, you certainly do now. 2 fumbles for Wisconsin today. Buckeyes recovering this one, and Ohio State scoring on that next drive. Badgers losing back-to-back games for the first time since 2016. Jay Wilson reporting from Ohio Stadium tonight.
The analysis of this one won't take very long. Ohio State was better than Wisconsin.
Obviously, feelings are down and you hate to lose. That's not why we came here. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not going out to lose the games, but week in and week out, we're just got to keep battling and keep fighting.
As a team, I think we just got to play better. All 11 have to play well at the snap of the football, and we're going to get tough looks. Teams are coming for us, and we're here for it.
The last 2 weeks have been miserable for the Badgers. That awful loss at Illinois, followed by a pretty awful loss here at Ohio State. So the bye week's coming up. Where do you go from here?
This group will rally. That part I feel good about. And I do. I think you got to take, and like I said earlier, you got to take all the things that this team has gone through the first 8 games, right? And now we got to bye. And then how do we approach and take advantage of the opportunities that we get here in November?
Yeah, it's definitely tough seeing that, but I think putting this one behind us and really taking advantage of the bye week, and then looking at Iowa.
Someone suggested Ohio State and Wisconsin might meet again this season. If that does happen, it would be in the Big Ten championship game. If the Badgers are to get there, they're going to have to win their last 4 if they hope to win the Western Division championship. At Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Jay Wilson, News 3 Now Sports.
All right, now Wisconsin just really unable to get any rhythm on offense today, as you noticed, limited to 191 total yards on offense. That's compared to Ohio State's 431 yards. Badgers have a week off now to recuperate before hosting Iowa in 2 weeks. Speaking of the Hawkeyes, Kirk Ferentz and Iowa at Northwestern today, starting off with a statement. Nate Stanley down the middle to Tyrone Tracy Jr. Check this out. Rolling out of there. He'll take care of it all the rest of the way, and Iowa is up first at Ryan Field, 7-0. Fast forward now to the second half. Mekhi Sargent, short one here, up the gut. Iowa shuts out Northwestern, who is evidently struggling hard this season. 20-0 the final. Some other notable conference scores. Penn State still undefeated, beating Michigan State 28-7. And this one here just went final. Michigan upsetting Notre Dame at the Big House, 45-14. Well, after winning 3 straight, the men's hockey team faltering last night to Clarkson in the series opener. So tonight, Badgers are a little more fired up. Gardner Minshew in the house for Halloween at the Kohl Center, hoping to bring some of that luck to the ice. We pick it up in the second period, scoreless until Roman Akan gets a hold of the puck. 1-0 Badgers early on. Then later, who else? We expected this one. Freshman sensation Cole Caulfield. His 7th goal of the season, 2-0 Badgers now. And they're not done yet. Big second period for the Badgers. Keandre Miller, the big guy, with the handles. 3-0 Wisconsin. Badgers hang on to win 4-3 the final score. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Steffen and the women hosting Bemidji State earlier today, tied at 1 in the second period. Maddie Rowe launches a rocket. Britta Curl there to tip it in, and Wisconsin takes the 2-1 lead. Then in the third, Nicole Lamantia by herself. She goes top shelf to light the lamp. 3-1 Badgers, and Wisconsin with one more after that. Top-ranked Badgers now 9-0 on the season. Game 2 tomorrow. Puck drops at 2:07 p.m. Regional final volleyball. Some high school action tonight. In Division 2, Mount Horeb visiting the #1 seed Platteville. First set here, Mount Horeb's Maddie Mason pushes it to the deep corner for the point. Vikings up by 1. Later on, Platteville's Emily Fields to Becca Hoyer. Nice opposite court cut for the kill. Hillman with the lead. Then Fields again, jump back set to Maddie Cooley, who slams it down the line for the kill. Platteville wins 3-1. To Division 4, Iowa Grant hosting Shullsburg. We pick it up in the second set. Some happy kids there in the crowd. Second set, Iowa Grant's Hazel Klosterman with the back set to Annie Spurley. She slams it down for the point. We are tied at 1 apiece. To the third now, Iowa Grant's Olivia Litticott rolls it over. Panthers up early now, but Shullsburg gonna make a comeback. Reva Spillane to Kayla Kotz. Miners tie it up, but Iowa Grant too much for Shullsburg. Klosterman to Sydney Lundell for the kill. Iowa Grant wins in 4. They'll take on Seneca in the next round. Bucks got 1 win under their belts to start the season off strong on Thursday, but tonight, despite a 21-point lead in the third quarter, that isn't the way. The story ended at the home opener at Pfizer. We pick it up late in the fourth quarter. Bucks down 2. Chris Middleton short. Giannis there for the save as time expires. Check out the slow-mo replay here. 29 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists, but also, this is a big one, 8 turnovers for the Greek Freak. So we are headed to overtime, and foul called on Giannis here. He fouls out yet again. He did at Houston too in the season opener. Bucks end up losing this one 131-126. They'll host the Cavaliers on Monday. We will be right back.
Showers coming to an end tonight. Tomorrow will be a nice sunny fall day, but then looking ahead to the rest of the week, a little more rain coming through.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.